Hello everyone, this is Vaibhavi Uttarwar and welcome to the second part of the maturity indices of fruits and vegetables. Before this, we have gone through the introduction, some physiological methods for assessing maturity, and we'll go for the next point of our topic. Now in this second video, we will see how to identify and check the maturity indices. So there is a sensory and visual observation method is there. So one of the simplest and easiest method where objective and subjective techniques have been employed, such as subjective methods, that is sight, touch, smell, taste and resonance. Through this we can assess the maturity. Next, what are the disadvantages of sensory maturity? So when cultivated area is larger, this technique are tedious. Color of the each fruit bunch cannot be same due to variation in the perception. Then the next, that is a variation in the weather will be misleads the judging. Variation in the biotic and abiotic factors, which is orchard, microclimate, influences the crop judgment. Crop judgment plant near ponds, composite pits grows luxuriantly. So these are some of the disadvantages of sensory maturity. Now we'll see what are the different methods of judging maturity, that is computational method, physical method, chemical method and physiological method. So in this page you can see that there is a strawberry shown, that is 4 different strawberries from their development to the up to matured one, and after that there is a ripened strawberry is also present. So the growth phase is from A to in between B, and from B to D, that is a ripening phase of strawberry. But the central, that is a C, it is a fully developed and matured strawberry, and at last the red one, that is a ripened strawberry. So methods of judging maturity. The first, that is a computational method. So there are, again it is divided into 3 types, that is by calendar date, by days, from full bloom, then from heat unit and day degree. So the calendar date is one of the most commonly used indices of maturity and is reasonably accurate provided flowering and weather during the growing season is normal. But the standardization requires study from many seasons for given variety, location and root stock. The example is that is mango harvesting period, that is from April to July. Then DFFP. What is DFFP? That is days from full bloom. So it is relatable but varies greatly from the year to year and the location to location. In such case, the optimum date of harvested can be predicted by doing night temperature correlation for the 15 days following the full bloom. For every 1 degree Fahrenheit variation from an average night temperature, a correction of the 1 day is made in the standard figure from the full bloom. So here example is mentioned, that is for mango about 110 to 125 days. Means in average we are going to say how many days will be required for proper maturity of the fruit from the full blooming. Full blooming means from full flowering. Then there is a next example, that is banana. Banana, the days are given from 99 to 107 days. So in this period they are going to be matured. Then third point, that is the heat units or day degree. Optimum maturity is computed by the sum of mean daily temperature above best temperature for a period concerned. So the number of degree of days to the maturity is determined over a period of several years. 10 degrees Celsius to the 15 degrees Celsius is the temperature at which growth occurs for the apple, and the base temperature varies with the crop. Now there is a second method, that is a physiological method. So there are tremendous physiological methods. Among them we'll see some selected points. So the first one is the fruit retention strength, second fruit size and surface morphology, and third, that is the weight of the fruit. So physical method is through sensory organs we are going to assess the maturity. So the first image, that is the apple is pulled out from their branch. So fruit retention strength. What is meant by fruit retention strength? It means the force required to separate the fruit from that respective branch or that plant. So if we are requiring more force or more power is required to separate that fruit, it means that is a quite immature fruit is there. But when it is easily get separated from that plant, it means that it is on the stage of maturity, or it is a properly matured fruit. So when fruit retention strength required is very high, so at that time it is a quite immature fruit. Second, that is a fruit size and surface morphology. Sir, so this second, that is size and morphology, is quite simple procedure one. Through this we can find. So in the first image at the bottom, that is shown about the maturity stages in banana from the immature to mature ripe. So the first, there is a very small slice of banana is shown. After that it is slightly growing with their pigmentation is increased, and at last the fourth slide or slice, that is of yellow color. So that is properly grown and matured banana, and also it is a ripened banana. But before that is a third third slice, that is a fully matured banana is shown. So according to next point, that is a weight of the fruit. So that is a common thing. When the proper weight is developed, we can assess that is fully matured fruit is there. Next point, that is a specific gravity of the fruit, color, that is skin, flesh and seed. After that, firmness of the fruit and the age of separation. So the age of separation is quite related to the fruit retention strength. So as easily it is get separated, that means they are properly matured fruits. Then the specific gravity. So specific gravity increases with the increase in size and weight of the fruit. After that, color, that is a skin, flesh and seed colors. So generally seed, it is not we are going to see visually, we have to break that fruit or we have to cut it. But the skin and flesh, they are easily visual by our eyes. So the skin color, it changes. At bottom you can see there is a one row of oranges shown from the size of lemon to the fully developed orange. Slightly it is day by day increasing with their size, and also there is a change in the color of that orange. So at center you can see the fifth number orange, which is a of yellow tint, and some green pigmentation is also available. So that is a matured fruit and it is stepping towards the ripening process. So through this color or skin or flesh, okay, flesh is nothing but the increase in the volatile oils in the flesh. So they are also one of the parameter to assess the maturity of the fruit. Then there is a firmness. So firmness, we can detect firmness with the penetrometer. So in the figure, that is a orange firmness is going to be calculated and the penetrometer is inserted. So when they are properly developed and mature fruit, they are highly firm. That means they are having a very good quantity of moisture or fleshy part in it, so that the firmness is also very high. Next, juice content and development of abscission layers. So juice content of the fruit, it is also one of the parameter to assess the maturity. So it increases with the increase in the juice of the fruit. Then there is a development of abscission layer in melons. So here you can see the image of the melons. So abscission layers means they automatically itself separated from the plant after properly growth of that melon. So here the example of musk melon is shown. In first image also, that is a fully matured and abscission layer is developed, and in second the abscission layer is shown, which is separated from the stem of that branch. Next method, that is a chemical methods to assess the maturity. So first there is a titratable acidity, then TSS or sugar acid ratio, then the sugars, starch content, then tannin content, then the oil content and juice content of the fruit. So titratable acidity, nothing but in case of fully developed fruit, there is a very good quantity of acid is available. So we can find them also. Then there is a TSS and acid ratio. TSS and acid ratio, that nothing but the sugar acid ratio. So sugar acid ratio, In case of matured fruit, acid is quite higher, but in case of ripened fruit, acid decreases and sugar content increases. Then there is a starch content. We can assess through starch content also. In the given image, you can see the iodine test is applied, or iodine is applied on the banana. So from green to fully ripened banana, they are kept here in green, and they are prepared their slices. After that, so when banana is fully grown and when it reacted with iodine, the starch converts, or starch, it is going to be darkened with the iodine. As in case of green banana, which is a vice versa to the fully ripened banana. So sugar do not react with the iodine. So you can see in the last slice there is a fully yellow banana is shown. Then there is a tannin content. Then there is a oil content and juice content also. When fruit is fully matured, so the volatile oils and also juice content increases in the respective fruit. So next method, that is the physiological methods for assessing maturity. So the first, that is the rate of respiration, then rate of ethylene production, then transpiration and the production of volatiles. So the rate of respiration increases in case of matured fruit when it stepping towards the ripening process. Then second point, that is the rate of ethylene production. So it is also correlated with the respiration rate. So as rate of respiration increases, rate of ethylene production also increases, so that the matured fruit, it turns to the ripening process. Then there is a transpiration. Already in last video we have learned about the transpiration process. It is nothing but there is a loss of moisture content to the environment through some cuticles, stomata which are present on the upper skin of the fruits or vegetable. And at last there is a production of volatiles. Volatiles means the flavor development. So after development of properly all cells, there is a development of some volatile acids and oils which are responsible for the flavor of respective fruit. So these all are different methods which are responsible or which are useful for the assessing the maturity of the fruit. After that, the next stage of physiological development, that is the ripening of the fruit. So what is fruit ripening? So the fruit ripening is the process in fruit which makes them acceptable for the consumption. In this process, fruit becomes more sweeter in taste and softer in texture. Based on the ripening behaviors, fruits are classified into two groups, that is climacteric fruit and non-climacteric fruit. So already we all know what is the climacteric and non-climacteric fruit. So what are the different changes during the ripening carried out, that we are going to learn. So the first, cell wall, then there is a starch, organic acids. So how the ripening affects the cell wall. So when the mature fruit it's going to ripen, cell wall it get softened more than the matured fruit. Then the starch convert into sugar, organic acids, the organic acid decreases because of sugar content increases. Then there is a development of pigments. As fruit changes their maturity phase to the ripening phase, the development of pigments is done. For example, there is a mango which is of fully developed and matured one, but of green color, but it is a raw one. But when we want to consume a fully ripened mango, so during ripening what happens, the green color, that is a chlorophyll, it degrades and there is a development of yellow color. So because of that, there is a color of mango is yellow at the ripening step. Then there is a flavoring compound develops, then phenolic, some ascorbic acids also develop, then the respiration and transpiration rate, then the ethylene evolution rate. So during ripening process, respiration rate also increases, and due to rate of respiration increases, the ethylene evolution rate also increases. So this is all about the maturity indices of the fruit and ripening process in the fruits. Thank you for watching my video.